How's everyone doing today? CJ Halleck with CJHalleck.com and digitalbag.com, and in this video we're going to pick up where we left off of the part 1 logo design video, where I went into the basics of should you hire a freelancer, who should you go to have someone design the site, and how to do the site yourself, and just went into some basic fundamental concepts in logo design. And in this video I'm going to walk you through the steps that I use to actually design a logo. We'll get into it, and I'll see you in a second. All right, so right now we are on Logo Joy. I just wanted to basically start off by showing you guys how Logo Joy works. If you're interested, I do have a link in the description. Disclaimer, it is an affiliate link, so if you do decide to use Logo Joy, I may or may not receive compensation depending on, I don't think I get paid on the smaller packages. I might, I don't know, so I may or may not. But anyways, so we're on logojoy.com, and we're going to basically use this to get an idea of what we're going to do for our logo. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to put in the company name, which is Pyroplex, and click get started. We'll do art. Let's see, do I have artist? Yeah, artist. And click continue. And now you're going to come through and kind of give, select the styles that you like on some of these. So I'm going to look and see if there's any of these that I really like that stands out. I kind of like the gas mask. I'll go ahead and choose that as one of them. We'll see what comes out of it. Let's see here. Okay, so we're going to go back up. Let's try this again. I'll try this one. Try that one. And we'll try that one. All right. Well, I want one more. So let's do that one. All right. We'll continue. All right. Now we're going to look at the colors. We'll do black and white and grayscale and hit continue. We'll do grayscale and continue. And then I'm going to go ahead and put a space here, do Pyroplex, and then we'll do art by hand with fire, and click continue. And browse symbols. So let's do fire. See what they have for fire. And we'll choose 5 different icons. So I'm going to find stuff, make sure it's, we'll look and see what we can find. All right, let me get one more. We'll do that one. All right. So now that we have that, I'm going to click on continue. And it's going to go through and basically give us some ideas. Now, okay, yeah. So this is where it's going to ask you to basically sign up so you can actually see. And I forgot they did this part. And this basically is just a way, just being upfront and blunt and honest with you guys. This is a way for them to come back and follow up with you guys, and kind of, if you do like the logo, it kind of just gives you an option in case if you accidentally close the page out or whatever, they save the logos and give you an option to come back and actually buy it. So I'm going to just go ahead and put CJ Halleck. Email, we'll do DHR. And password. All right, I'll click finish my logo. All right, so at this point, you can get a good idea by looking through these. There's some different, ways that they created logos for you. I kind of really like this one, but I kind of, I really like the concept of having the icon with the flame on it. So I'm going to just kind of look through. We'll load more logos. Kind of just look around and get different ideas. And if you like something, like I said, let's say you like this one right here, which is kind of the look I want to go for. Then you can come in and actually like really customize it. And then, like I said, if you go to buy, we'll take a look and see so we get the actual prices. So these are the three different things. $20 is going to get you the JPEG. The $65 is going to get you... the biggest thing is the high-res file types. You can do multiple color variations, but this one, as you see, it says no transparent file. So that's going to be a big thing. You're going to want to make sure that you have a transparent file, even if you're only doing stuff online, so you can use that in your header and different things and not have to worry about the white box around the logo. And then we'll look in premium. You get full ownership, and that's the thing that's different here and here. You can't, like, for instance, legally, like if I come back here and I see this and I really like this, you can't just basically do a screen grab of this and then go in and throw it in Photoshop and use the same design with the flames and everything else and use it for commercial rights, because you don't have the license for that. So, but anyways, you can go through and buy here. Now that I have an idea kind of how I want it to look, I'm going to go ahead and get started looking for this. Not necessarily this icon, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a new tab, and I'm going to search for fire icon free for commercial use. And so here we go. We have this. All these are basically free for commercial use. And some of these you may have to give credit to the designer that made the icon, in which case is totally fine. So like we'll look at this one because I kind of like this. Let's see. Free for commercial with attribution. And so basically you have to give attribution while using this. So basically, like for me, because this is only going to be online, I will link to the artist information. Format author. So here's the author page. Open a new tab. And then I basically need to say, these are the people who designed the icon. So I will put that in my footer. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this open for right now. So I can link back to it later. So I'm going to go ahead and download this file now. And I'm going to open with, and it's going to pop open. I'm going to extract to my desktop. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go to my desktop. You see the videos I've been working on. And then here's where you get the different icons. So I'm going to go ahead. We'll do properties. See, I think this is that's a JPEG file, and then this one should be the EPS. So we'll go properties, EPS. This is the vector. So, and it says Photoshop because that's what I have my default going to, but I'm going to go ahead and right click this. Actually, don't even have to, because here's the Illustrator. So I'm going to open it in Illustrator, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to basically strip down everything but the one icon I want to use, and then export it out so I can have that file to modify and change and put into Photoshop. Just may take a second for Illustrator to open up. I apologize, I should have already had it open. So now that we're here, we can come in here under Layer and under Group, and you can see all the icons. So you can click this and automatically take the background out. And then from here, you're basically, once you decide which one you're going to use, which for me, I think it's going to be this one. So you want to basically look and see if you can. Sometimes it's hard like that. I almost got that wrong. This one, yeah, okay. So this is that entire icon. So I can uncheck the rest of these to get rid of them all. All right, so now the only thing left is this icon. So now that I have that, I can come in here and go File, Save As, Fire Icon. And I'm going to change this to an EPS and click Save. Click OK. And this is going to go ahead and save that as an EPS. So now I can come in here. I have Fire Icon. It'll open it in Photoshop. And I can use that as the core to start designing my logo. As long as, just keep in mind, if you are using something from a site that requires attribution, that you give attribution. For right now, I think that's going to be plenty big. We're going to go ahead and put this at 300. And actually, let's put this at 30. And you'll see why in a second, because we're going to have to crop this out. CMYK color works for me. Click OK. It's going to move a little slow because of the size. So now that I have the flame, I can come in here and do a color overlay and take it to black, which is what I'm going to do because we're going to need that in order to convert the entire thing back to an EPS. So if you zoom in, that's at 100%. So I mean, this is plenty big enough. So if you wanted to continue to kind of go by the same design, I'll go ahead and here we go. All right, go back and look at this, and then you'll see how it kind of lays out. And so I can go ahead and we'll crop this down. And then I'm going to go ahead and put in some guidelines to make sure that I can center everything and make sure it looks right. So we'll go vertical at 50%, and then I'm going to do a new guide and go 50% horizontal. And so now that everything's centered, I can come in here and it has the guide, so I can make sure if you zoom in like all the way down to the pixel, that is the centermost dot for that fire icon, and so it's sitting centered on the line. So now I can come in here and start doing the name and everything else. So I have Pyroplex. We'll align left, and we'll size up quite a bit to make sure that it's got the right size for it. $175 will work. Actually, let's go a little bigger. Let's try 275. And then we'll move the flame over. And I'm actually gonna do this here. And I'll show you what I'm gonna do here in a second, because I'm gonna kind of make that P come out from behind the fire. And then I'm gonna come back, we'll do a new text, and then I'll bring this one down to like 72. And then we'll do art by hand with fire. And this will be our tagline. And I'll take it up to about right there. And then I'm going to come here and I'm going to try to align it to the bottom of that P. We'll drop it down, and then what I'm going to do is stretch it out like so. Alright, so now when you look at it, we back out. That's kind of the look I'm wanting. But now I'm gonna actually come in, we'll change the color overlays. match out with a black. We'll do this one. Color overlay, match out with black. And then at this point, just to give it a little extra flair, I'm going to move the fire over the top to make it at the very top of this. But I'm going to keep the art above that. So I'm going to start with the fire. And what this is going to do, we'll do a stroke. Make it white. Hit OK. And then we're going to change the size. And you can see as it separates that P. And it gives it just that white outline here. It's negative space, I think, is technical term for it for designers. But basically, it just gives me that extra little fun spacing. So at this point, I may actually come in here and move this over to keep that line straight so it didn't actually give it too much of a curve. And like I said, I am self-taught, so this is probably not the way it should be done. But anyway, so now that I have that, I'm going to come in here to the art by hand with fire and do the same thing. And that's going to basically separate the A from the flame. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to do a smaller space. Just enough, as you see here, just enough to kind of show it. All right, let me hit OK. And there's the logo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go to a new layer. I'll merge visible. I'll drop the white to make it transparent. Merge visible. And now you see where that space that was white is now transparent. And that's how I do my logos in Photoshop. And then once I do this, I'll normally just come in, I'll add another layer underneath it, put white behind it. And now that I have it completely black and white and it's merged visible, designed the way I want it, we'll come in here and we'll center the whole thing. Centered and good to go. Then I'll go File, Save As, and then I'll do PP. Don't laugh. PP JPEG, and I'll just do JP. I just need to remember what it is, and then we're going to make sure we save it as a JPEG and hit Save. Bring the file size all the way up to maximum and hit OK. Once we have that, we'll come back in here, right click, open with Adobe Illustrator. And now you see the full size image as a JPEG. So if you drop this down, it's only one layer in here. So I'm going to go ahead and back out. Make sure it's selected, double click to select it. Almost messed that up. Grab it. It didn't work. Undo scale. Let's try this again. Why is it not? It's not scaling for me for some reason. See, that's the problem. Oh, my bad. I'm hitting the wrong button. Do you hate when that happens? Alright, so we're going to scale this down. Make sure it fits on the page. And we'll scale it up a little bit. Alright, should be good to go. Alright, so now I'm going to zoom back in and take a closer look at it. So now that we have this here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that the image is selected. Make sure that you have the box around it, and I'm going to image trace. Then I'm going to click expand, and you'll see it has all of the different lines where it actually traced out the outline for that. Now you're going to have all these extra, like in the P's, the O's, the E, all these white blocks we're going to turn off. This is just so I make sure that it stays with the transparent in between everything. And you come through and check each of these. Make sure there are no more little white ones that will mess you up. Check the last one, that should be the background. And then now if you export as an EPS, it should export all the black, leave the white transparent. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. We're going to go File, and we're going to put Save As, and then I'm going to do Pyro Plex Official Logo 2019. And I'm going to save this in the EPS file. Click Save. Click OK. And now if I open this in Photoshop, I can put this at 300, change the size however big you want it, and there it is. And I'm looking through to double check, make sure you don't have any of these that you didn't get with the removing everything. And then if you come in, you can color overlay and change the entire color of the entire thing depending on what image you're using it on, in case if you need some contrast. And then from here, you have the logo file. Here is an EPS. And then from now on, if you need to do anything, send your file to a designer for business cards, or putting up a billboard, or printing stickers for your vehicle, or whatever the case may be. This is the file you send them. So that basically is how I design my logos. Like I said, I am self-taught. I do apologize. I am not 100% perfect with this stuff, but nobody else is either. So thank you guys so much for watching this. I apologize it took a little bit longer than expected, but if you like this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. If you're interested in notifications, be sure to hit the bell on YouTube and get notified when I upload new content. That being said, be great, stay boosted, have an amazing day. Take care.